Bonjour Gemini and welcome back to my channel. Claude here. Today I'm going to be doing your mid-month tarot reading for the month of May. So I hope you're all doing well. I'm going to start by pulling a couple of energies from my oracle deck and then I will clarify with the tarot. So as always, please remember those are general readings. They will not resonate with everybody. So take what applies to your situation and just discard the rest. And if you know you resonate better with your Moon, Venus, rising sign, or simply if you want a more comprehensive picture for the rest of the month, do check those readings out too. Now, what do I have for my Gemini Aquarians, please? What do they need to know? So we have the Boar and Pumpkin, confidence. We then have the Bee and Pomegranate, productivity. And the Dragonfly and Pansy, balance. Okay, let's clarify with the tarot. Clarify those messages for my Gemini Aquarians, please. So we begin with the Ten of Pentacles. We then have the Seven of Swords. Oops, they're slipping. And then we have the Six of Swords. The Wheel of Fortune, Major Arcana. Two tens next to each other. The King of Swords is at the center of your spread. You have a lot of swords energy, air energy, which is your element. And another major arcana, the Chariot. So the King of Swords is surrounded by major arcana. That's interesting. Another major arcana, the Magician. The Eight of Wands. And the Ace of Cups. Beautiful. Bottom of the deck, which is the energy supporting you that you may not be aware of. Another major arcana, Justice. Okay, let me start with that. So in this reading you have 1, 2, 3, 4 majors out of 10 cards. You also have 4 swords energy, so your energy, and then just a couple. So it's very much your element and major arcana, which is telling me that you are going through a period of time that's very significant in your life, because the major arcana represents important energies. You know, they're big hitters. They affect your life in the long run, and for a very significant period of time. Whereas the minors deal with the day-to-day events, situation, relationships, and people generally speaking. So supporting you is Justice. We have 2 major karma cards in the tarot, particularly the majors anyway. You have Justice and the Judgment card. Now Justice is what it says in its title. It's you reap what you sow energy. It's actions and consequences. And when Justice appears in a spread, she appears to reestablish the balance, the harmony in someone's life. So this is your spirit team acknowledging that you've been through it, that you've had some challenges, changes in your life, and that it's time that things turn around for you. Basically, is the message I'm getting, because you do not have any real negative cards in there. This is a positive reading just by looking at it, I can tell you that. So this is really your spirit team, so God, the universe, your angels, your ancestors, whoever you work with, telling you, yes, we acknowledge you've had some struggles, but it's fine. Things are going to turn around in your favor, which obviously I love to see. Supporting you, that's beautiful energy. So at the top we have Confidence with the Oracle card, the Ten of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, and the Six of Swords. So the Pentacle energy is the physical material world, represents earth energy, so slower energy, but reliable, steadfast. And the 10 is the number of completion in tarot, the end of a cycle. This is having worked really hard to provide yourself and your family or your friends, whoever matters to you, to provide with abundance and prosperity. It's the legacy card. It's having something to leave behind. It may also represent inheritance for some of you, so take what resonates. But you have this card of closing a cycle, a very, very tangible, real end of a cycle, because it's in the physical world, whether it's your home life or your work life is what I'm trying to say. And it is followed by the 7 of Swords and the 6 of Swords. Now, 7s in tarots represent confidence, which made me chuckle when I saw it, because the oracle card said confidence on it. That comes from experience and the ability to self-evaluate. So swords are the mental realms, they're air energy, they represent your knowledge, your thoughts, your ideas, and also truths. And the 7 of Swords really is a card that gets a bad rep. People say, oh, it's betrayals and such things. Not necessarily. To me, the 7 of Swords is the work smarter card, not harder. In the Rider-Waite-Smith, it's being seen as someone taking the swords at night away from their opponents, from their tents. And they say, oh, he's a thief. And I'm like, well, no, he's just a smart guy who knows that if you take away the weapons of your opponent, there's not going to be a war tomorrow. So that's how I look at the 7 of Swords. To me, it's being focused and determined. It's doing what it takes. Having this certainty, mental certainty that you can see this through, which comes with this confidence card, and being very sharp. And the 6 in the same suit, well, 6 is harmony after having overcome a challenge. 6 of Swords is, being adaptable, accepting that, things are the way they are or the way they were, and accepting their limitations, but growing from it and looking towards the future in a more optimistic mental attitude, if you see what I'm saying. So the 6 of Swords is always, generally speaking, represented as a boat going towards a calmer water. With the swords, you take the lessons that you've learned with you, and they've made you grow. They've given you that confidence that's right there. So in order to get this legacy, you've had to be very smart, very determined. It took a lot of mental determination and, not giving up. And you've learned a lot from that, is what I'm reading here. At the center of your spread, which is the most important card, you have the King of Swords. Now, obviously, very much an energy. And I know some readers assign specific court cards to each sign. So Gemini is the Knight of Swords. I just see court cards as any of the signs that fall under this suit. So to me, you are the King of Swords in this reading. And obviously no genders attached, it's just the personal characteristic of the card. And the Kings represent knowledge, mastery, and they're more action-oriented, yang energy, as opposed to a queen who's more yin, receptive energy. So the King of Swords is someone who's very sharp intellectually, someone also who has a wealth of knowledge, because he's armed himself with said knowledge. He's done the work, so he's knowledgeable. He's also very loyal. In the real world, it can represent a judge, a teacher, a doctor, this kind of people, but it doesn't have to be. The King of Swords is very astute. He's someone who will see the lies, who's very analytical, and who knows when and how to take action, because he's got all the facts at his fingertips. And I see you there, right there in the middle of this, because you have this near pass-through of, legacy, working smarter, having, learned the lessons, and now being empowered is how I read this, because you have in this row the card of productivity as well. And around this, you have the Wheel of Fortune and the Chariot. Now, two major arcanas. The Wheel of Fortune, number 10, end of a cycle, but the wheel is always in motion. So end of a cycle, beginning of a new one. And it's obviously moving things forwards. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is neither good or bad, it depends on what it brings, okay? And what I see is that with the Chariot, which is right next to it, between you and that, you're going to have a victory, but it's going to be, you know, it's not an easy energy. The Chariot is, yes, it's victory, success, but it requires willpower and sheer determination, which you have, because you are the King of Swords. So again, this is a 7, the Chariot, so it's confidence, it's experience, it's evaluating. And the Charioteer is someone who's very determined. He's not going to deviate, he or she, remember, no genders attached. And it's someone who is going to take on any change or challenge that comes his way and just succeed through sheer willpower, determination, which you have here with the King of Swords. So the Wheel of Fortune is bringing you a brand new cycle that's going to bring you success, but you're going to have to be determined and push through, is what I'm hearing. You know, you're going to have to be productive. You're going to have to take action. You can't just, you know, sit on your butt. I'm not trying to be offensive, but do you know what I'm saying? It's going to have to come from you. It's a very good energy to have. It really is. It's saying that you do have this in you and that you will be successful. That's what your spirit team is telling you. And I really like how the cards fell for your spread, because you have 2 10s. So your ends, right? End of a cycle, beginning of a cycle. And then boom, right underneath it, the Magician. Beautiful major arcana. The brand new beginning, with you having everything at your fingertips to make this happen. Because the Magician, you know, is the alchemist. He's got the 4 elements with him. And you can see them, you know, on the cards. They're there. The shell, the flame, the oak, and the feather. So this is a super manifester. This is someone who takes action, uses all of their resources, anything, and make things happen. And it is next to the card of balance, so bringing about balance in your life, which is what I was telling you about with the Justice card anyway. So the Magician being right under the Wheel of Fortune is obviously very auspicious. This is really nice. And you can also look at it in a diagonal from the 6 of Swords, where you have learnt your lessons and you started to look at things in a more optimistic way because you've adapted. You've become the King of Swords, the master, the action taker, and you are now in a position in the near future to manifest whatever it is you're trying to do. Whether it is manifest a new life, by that I mean, you know, it could be relocation, it could be a new job, a new career, it could be a new relationship, whatever it is you're trying to manifest, it's there. It will be there. And it's going to come very fast because you've got the 8 of Wands with the Ace of Cups. I mean, you have one of the nicest readings for mid-May. I've got to be honest with you, this is making me smile. You can't see my face, but you know what I mean. So 8 is advancement in the tarot. Wands is passion, desire, power, and the 8 of Wands is talking about things moving forwards very fast. So it could be emails, texts, phone calls, it could be someone coming your way, or it could be you moving towards something very, very quickly. And towards what? Towards the Ace of Cups. Beautiful brand new beginning. Aces represent the seed, the origin of a suit, the potential, and the Cups is the emotional realm. So it's obviously love and relationship, but it's your feelings, your emotions, also intuition and creativity, but I'm not feeling that for this reading. This is the cup that's overflowing, so this is your happiness in this cup. Whatever your happiness is, what it is that makes you happy is in this cup, and this is you, well, manifesting it very quickly, or moving very quickly towards it, towards what your dream life is, towards what it is that you really want, that you know is going to make your heart happy. Now, you know, the Ace of Cups can be the birth of a new relationship. It could be the renewal of a long-term relationship. It could be the birth of a kid, a child, or the birth of a project, of a business, whatever the case may be. Or it could just simply be you moving towards that brand new life that, you know, you're trying to manifest. It's the cup of happiness. It's, you know, what, you know, will give you fulfillment, emotional fulfillment in your life. So when you look at it, either direction, I think it's so beautiful, because you have the legacy card, the hard work, closing out that cycle, being empowered as the King of Swords, taking action towards this brand new beginning. If you look at it this way, having learned the lessons, pushing forward towards victory, which brings you this brand new beginning. It, I could look at it in any direction, it always looks the same, with the same outcome. So I am so excited for you. I hope you've enjoyed your journey for the cards with me. If you enjoyed this message, or if it helped you, do let me know in the comment box below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some time with me. I really appreciate it. I wish you a beautiful, exciting new month, and I'll see you again very soon. Until next time, au revoir.